Hello and welcome to a destination episode of Mulls on Mission. We are on a hike. So
With
we're coming to you
Malachi.
live from the woods. And Malachi is on my back in one of those little kid backpack carriers. Hoping audio will show up okay, but here we go. All right, Anna, are you ready for my question today?
Yeah.
All
Let's
right.
hear it.
You're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh at this one.
Okay. I usually do.
Can you describe the flow of blood from where it enters the heart at a deoxygenated state?
No.
No. Oh, well, that
Can
was
you?
All I said was I'm going to say yes.
All
That's
right.
gonna
Now
be
you
my
got to
answer.
prove it.
Okay. So, and we'll do a segue into update while we jokingly talk about this topic. Why do you think I'm asking you this question, Anna?
Gee, maybe it's because it's the only thing on your mind right now.
That is partially
Filling
true.
your mind
It
right
is-
now.
Yes, anatomy and physiology have definitely been filling my mind lately. And why would that be, Anna?
You've been studying hard, sir.
I have been studying hard. So, I've started my EMT class. So, let's see if I can do this, since my exam on this topic is on Tuesday.
And for the two people listening,
So tomorrow,
who are
as of recording.
Yeah,
Yes.
maybe not doctors, but know these things.
Yep.
Maybe I'm underestimating the people listening here, just
So-
because I don't know it.
So, blood enters the right atrium of the heart, and it goes through the tricuspid valve, I believe, down to the right ventricle. Thank you. Yeah. From the right ventricle, it gets pumped out through the pulmonary vein, and it's the one place. Oh no, it is still the artery. It's the pulmonary artery. It's the one place where the deoxygenated blood is in an artery, because arteries are just where
Or the
blood
red blood.
leaves the heart. So it comes out through the pulmonary artery, goes to the lungs, where it has oxygen exchange in the pulmonary capillaries of the alveoli of the lungs, and then it goes to the the pulmonary vein, which enters the left atrium, goes through the bicuspid valve, which brings it to the left ventricle, and then out the aorta. That's my final answer.
Seeing as your textbooks are nowhere to be seen, I can't check your work, but
That is correct.
Good job.
Yay!
A from me. Malachi is fascinated with the mics.
Yes, he is.
He keeps pointing at
Do you want
them.
to say anything? What do you want to say? You're just trying to
He
grab
just
it.
wants to hold it.
You just want to hold it? Yeah? Okay, no, okay.
So, Daddy, you're teasing me.
I know I am. I'm sorry.
Ooh, Malachi, look.
Oh, Mama's got a flower for you. Ooh, pretty flowers. All right, so that was my question for this episode. Sorry that it was highly specific to me, and you couldn't really participate. That was not well thought through on my
I feel
part.
like I did participate at one point. I gave you a hint.
That's true. You did give me a hint. Sorry, adjusting your mic. There we go.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay. So we'll just continue with the updates then.
Okay.
How have you been, Anna?
Doing really well.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're fine. I think I say we're finally getting into a rhythm after summer crazy, but
Assuming nothing dramatic happens in the next 48 hours, 72 hours.
well, what I was going to say is like today's Labor Day, so it's a
Correct.
Monday,
Yes.
but I have you all day. Yeah,
Yep.
like you don't have to go somewhere else.
I don't.
And we're out hiking,
We
which
are.
is so nice.
It is very nice.
On
We
the
are
time?
we are currently
Thank you.
on the Mineral Springs Greenway here in southern North Carolina.
And it's super cool outside. It's like
It is very cool.
68,
Yep.
70. I'm comfortable in a light jacket.
Yep, I am comfortable in a t-shirt.
And it is September
1st.
We're
of recording.
We're just barely out of summer.
Yep.
Or just barely out of August. And
I really hope the
cool
mic
weather,
can pick up these pretty bird sounds.
I do hope those come through.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Give the listeners some ambiance.
Yes. Make them feel like they're here with us. Wait, maybe we can do you can like rustle some leaves with your feet. Or we can get some stream sounds and I can put those in. We'll find a nice spot where the stream's making noise. We'll get it there.
But yeah, leaving summer feeling very full. I don't know if rested is the right word, but...
Yeah, we went on a trip with your family 2 weeks ago now? A week ago now?
Yeah. We got back a week ago.
Yep. And I feel, have officially entered the phase of life where vacations require more energy than they put back in. Ooh, here we go. Here's some nice stream sounds. Let's see if we can get these. Hopefully that shows up and I can put it somewhere fun in this episode.
Oh, me.
So yeah, we went on a little vacation trip. We went to the beach with your family.
For a week. So it wasn't little. Like, it was a good solid week of vacationing.
It's true.
And we had a blast.
It was very, very fun. Malachi really, really liked getting absolutely pummeled by waves. That was kind of his thing while we were at the beach. He would just run at them, making his little baby war cry like, ah!
He was completely fearless. I was a little nervous, but he was so full of abandon when it came to the ocean. So we really enjoyed watching him enjoy the beach, because that's our happy place too. So the fact that he loves it just made it all the more a happy place. So that was fun. And my sister got engaged during that time, which was a fun celebration.
That was big.
Adding to the family.
Yeah. So we all knew sort of when the engagement was happening. There was this plan to surprise her. And so we know it's happening. We all hang back. The now fiance, sneaks up behind her, which she didn't expect him to be on this trip at all. And we're watching them as they start talking and reacting. And we're prepping for the proposal. We're like, when's he going to take the knee? And he pulls out a paper and starts reading. We're like, oh, that's so sweet. And then after a couple minutes, he flips the page, and we're like, oh, we're gonna be here a minute. All right, let's settle in for the long haul. It was very sweet, and it matched Dara's personality. Yeah. So, that was fun. Another new thing over the week was you had to go back to North Carolina for a day. I did, yes. During vacation was my first class, which was kind of an important one to be at. So I drove back for class one day and drove back that night after class. So tell us a little bit more about, how has EMT school been? What's the vibe? There's lots of different kinds of people in the class. You got young kids right out of high school who want to do something in the medical field but don't know yet, so they're doing EMT because you can get the license in a semester and at least start working the ambulances and figuring out what's what. And there's a couple older guys who are doing it because they're volunteer firefighters. There's a number of firefighters who are doing it. So you kind of got the spectrum. I mean, I think the oldest guy in our class is probably in his 60s, and the youngest is 17. He's not even graduated high school yet, and he's doing the class. So it's fun to have the spread. Most people seem like they're like legit into it and not just there because whatever. Our teacher's really good. We're her first like full class where she's the only instructor, but she's doing a really good job so far. And relearning all of human anatomy and physiology in 3 weeks has been a lot. My brain has not felt this saturated in a minute, which is really good for me. I'm really enjoying getting to exercise that hardcore learning again, because I am learning stuff here at JARS, but it'll be like, oh, we're going to kind of focus on sheet metal for the next month. And so I'm learning little bits here, little bits there, kind of refining that skill, as opposed to, oh, here's a section of knowledge you just don't know at all. Let's do a crash course to figure it out in the next 3 weeks. So that has been really fun.
Cool. So I have a question for you.
Yes.
As a maintenance specialist, why are you taking EMT? Why do you want to be?
That is a great question.
Are you going to work on the ambulances?
I am not going to work on the ambulances. So one of my coworkers, Dave, he said, hey, I'm thinking about doing EMT school over the fall. Do you want to do it with me? And I was like, that sounds interesting. I'm vaguely interested just because I like learning things. And then you and I talked, and we both started feeling like this might actually be a really good skill to have when we are in a developing nation without really immediate access to medical services.
911 is not.
Yeah, there's
does
not
not
really
cover
that.
The jungle.
If you have like one of the Garmin subscriptions for emergency services and you press that button, it's still probably 48 hours before you're getting airlifted out. Now, if an emergency happens while at one of the JARS bases, there's airplanes there, there's personnel there. We could get to a hospital a lot quicker, but that's still, probably a 4 or 5 hour ordeal to get to the next big main city hospital. So the idea of us being in more remote places without having access to those medical services, has made me a lot more motivated. One, for our family to have this knowledge and understanding so that I can serve us better. But also whatever teams we're working on, if something happens in a shop, then I'll have some training to know how to deal with traumatic injuries or falls or, something like that to stabilize someone until we can get them to where they need to be for long-term care. But also, the third thing would be, whatever community we're in, just having the ability to serve them better is something that I'm hopeful about.
So you made a comment
Yes.
a few days ago that I meant to ask you earlier, but now I'll ask on Mike's for you to explain a little more.
Okay.
You saw a connection between what you were learning and the Good Samaritan.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you could elaborate a little bit more so I can understand
Yes.
your aha moment there.
So that story is, so after reading sort of the history of emergency medical services, what the whole purpose is to get to people quickly, stabilize them, get them to a place of long-term care. I really saw that as a parallel to the Good Samaritan story in that you've got the Samaritan guy walking along. He finds someone in a critical condition. I mean, it says they beat him and left him for dead. He uses the resources he has to bandage his wounds, to stabilize the person, and then he transports them to somewhere where they can get more long-term care. So just trying to gain these skills so that I could potentially be an even better Good Samaritan. That was a connection I had not seen prior to signing up for this class that I actually made while writing our newsletter. That also went out today. So, yeah, that was kind of the parallel I was seeing.
Assuming this podcast goes out today.
Well, the newsletter still went out today.
Okay.
So.
You just said also.
Oh, okay. Yes. Assuming I get this podcast out today.
But yes. I think that's so neat.
That's kind of the parallel I was seeing there. There's also, I will be completely honest, there are talks amongst jars about starting an operation in Vanuatu, which is a string of islands just way far out in the middle of the ocean. And one of the things that they've been talking about with that kind of operation is the need for search and rescue operations. So even though I'm just a mechanic, if we end up having those kind of operations on a future field like Vanuatu, having some EMS training to be able to go on those search and rescue missions and stabilize people and transport them back would be incredibly exciting for me. I mean, not the fact that people are hurt, but the fact that I get to help the people who are hurt.
I think, too, something that I've always loved about you is your ability to stay calm, not just stay calm, but communicate calm in a difficult situation or in a stressful situation. So I like it because being around you helps me stay calm. I do not naturally do that. I want to freak out. And so I think that's an asset for you in going into something like EMT school. I mean, you're going to be going on ride-alongs.
Yep.
Right? And learning how to work on an ambulance.
Yep.
And I think that is an added benefit, just it's in your toolbox to be able to actually do something aside from communicate calm, but do it simultaneously.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So I am very proud of you and really glad you're doing this course.
I am blessed that you are as encouraging as you are in this endeavor. I would not be doing this if you had not been so seen it so favorably. So thank you for supporting me in this.
Yeah. Well, it also makes me excited that you're doing it with two of your good friends.
Yes, that makes it very, very fun. So it's the guy Dave who brought up the idea in the first place, and then our other coworker Paige, who are all doing it together. And I definitely feel like I am sort of the dumb one of the three. I mean, those two can take on knowledge so fast. And it's encouraging to be with them, but also I feel like I'm playing catch up most of the time.
I think you're taking on a lot of information quickly. You just spat out the way blood goes through the heart, and you used all these big words that I haven't heard since.
The big words.
Unless you watch like Grey's Anatomy or
yeah.
or The Good Doctor, you're not going to really hear that language thrown around. Hopefully,
yeah.
Unless you're, around the hospital stuff a lot. I guess our few nurse friends would know a lot of this stuff.
True.
But yeah, pulmonary, artery, and ventricle, and atrium. I feel like atrium means something different in my vocabulary. Anyway, I'm rambling. I think you have a lot of knowledge, space, and absorbency in your brain, so.
Well, we're trying to cram it all in there.
We'll see how you do on your first exam.
That we will. I'm trying, in all of the just assignments, I'm like, I gotta get super high scores to give me some cushion for the exams.
You're a good test taker, though.
We will see. I have historically been all right at test taking.
It is true that you haven't been in a classroom setting with grades and tests.
Yeah. In quite some time.
There's an easier way to walk.
There is, but it's not as fun.
Okay. You just got 40 pounds of backpack.
Yep, and 20 of those are baby. 25? How much do you think he weighs now?
I think he's 27.
27. Oh, yep, I'm feeling
And now he's shaking.
Do we have any other updates? For the people?
I mean, just a What God's Been Teaching Us segment, which we haven't done in the last two.
That's true, we haven't done that in a bit.
So, you shared a little bit about the Good Samaritan and how God's showing you how he'll do that. Are there any other areas that he's been downloading or opening your eyes to?
There is a parable. I'll share this as not so much of this is what God is teaching me, but maybe as a like precursor to I think God's going to teach me something. I've been reading Mark and I came across this parable, and I've just been chewing on it, and I haven't quite come to conclusions yet. But it's a parable about the kingdom, and the kingdom is like a man who goes out and I can't remember if it just says sows seeds or plants. Says he goes out and does that, and then basically he waits, maybe waters. But day and night the plants grow little by little, and it says, and he knows not how, but when the time is right for harvest, he immediately goes out and harvests or cuts down. And yeah, that's just been sitting with me. I'm not entirely sure what to take from it yet. But I think I'm going to be coming to conclusions in the near future.
That's exciting. I feel like I've been noticing that too. God kind of shores up my understanding of an area right before that knowledge needs to be put into play.
Yeah.
So I'm noticing a lot of things come up in my life having to do with fear of God versus fear of man, and identity in Christ, and boldness, all these things that kind of tie into evangelism, but also who knows what else.
Yeah.
It just all seems to be coming about in a very orderly way, or a specific order and time that I feel like is going to end up being something, the test after the teaching.
Yeah.
Something though that I also had an aha moment while I was writing the newsletter. That I think I had picked up a little bit beforehand, but I just didn't put it into words until having to put it into words.
Yeah.
When we were talking about how much Malachi loves the waves.
Yep.
And how much he enjoyed getting pummeled and knocked down and getting back up and running at the waves again. Wait, what is he doing?
He's just staring up at the trees.
He's staring at the trees? They're so pretty. And how completely fearless he was.
Yeah.
That struck me when I was writing the newsletter. I was like, why was he so fearless? Is it just, like I jokingly say, he has no self-preservation? No, he knew you were right behind him. He knew you were going to catch him.
Yeah.
He knew he was safe. And God kind of put that into perspective for me. We have waves are like unknowns in that you don't know how hard it's going to hit. You don't know what it's bringing with. You don't know what, sometimes waves will be washing out at the same time as they come in, and so the impact is a lot less than it looks. And then other times it doesn't look like much, but then it doubles up with a second one and hits you really hard.
Yeah.
And so that seemed like a really good picture to me of the unknowns of life. They're going to hit you. Change is always happening. And talk about change, like when you're sitting in the sand while the waves are coming, you end up in a hole because the ground keeps changing as the water falls over. Anyway, the realization that we have no control over what's coming any more than we have control over the waves that were hitting Malachi. But his joy was directly tied to how much he trusted you to catch him.
Yeah.
He had no doubt. He had perfect trust. And so he could enjoy the unexpected. I see that tying in with our future, with all the change that is guaranteed to come, with the unknowns that we're standing at now. We don't know where we're going to be in a year and a half.
Yep.
We don't know what's going to happen between now and then. We don't, even next week, we don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
So the amount of anxiety I could have and the desire to run away from what could be really enjoyable is directly tied to how much confidence I have that God, my Father, is at my back.
Yeah.
And I am completely safe.
Yeah.
So I've been sitting in that a bit, and not just me, but you and Malachi, the people that I love, the people who are in my care, are also in God's hand, and says no one can snatch them out of my hand. So not even a crazy wave is going to snatch me or Malachi or you out of God's hand.
Yep.
Even though a big wave may have once snatched Malachi out of my hand just for a second. Yeah, that's something I've been sitting with the last few days after writing that.
That's good.
So hopefully it'll take root and grow into further confidence and not just a nice little spiritualism to put in a newsletter.
Yeah.
But by God's grace, you know, he brought it up for a reason, and he brought it up now. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah?
Yep.
All right. Well, we are so thankful that you guys could join us on today's hike through the woods. And we look forward to updating you guys again soon.
Yeah.
All right. Signing off.
Bye.